Food is a fundamental aspect of culture, and every country has its own unique cuisine that reflects its history, geography, and traditions. While some dishes might be considered delicious or exotic by one culture, they can be seen as strange or even repugnant by another. From bird's nest soup in China to haggis in Scotland, the world is full of weird and wonderful dishes that challenge our culinary assumptions and taste buds. In this topic, we will explore some of the weirdest and most unusual foods from around the world and learn about the cultural context and significance behind them. Here are some of the weirdest food dishes that are consumed in different parts of the world. Number 1. Ballot Philippines, a boiled fertilized duck embryo. Sure, ballot is a dish of fertilized duck embryo that is boiled alive and then eaten directly from the shell. It is a popular street food in the Philippines and other Southeast Asian countries. Ballot is considered a high-protein delicacy and is often consumed as a snack or a meal. The yolk and developing embryo are both eaten, and the flavors and textures are described as a mix of chicken and egg. Ballot is controversial due to its inhumane preparation and cultural significance, as well as potential health risks if it's not consumed fresh or properly cooked. Hakar, Iceland. Fermented shark meat. Hakar is a traditional Icelandic dish made from the fermenting meat of the Greenland shark. The meat of the shark is toxic when fresh, and so it has to be processed by burying it underground for several months, then hung and dried for several months more. The resulting meat has a pungent smell and strong ammonia taste due to its presence of high levels of trimethylamine oxide. Hakar is considered a delicacy in Iceland and is usually served in small cubes alongside shots of Icelandic liquor called brennivin. It is an acquired taste and many people, even including some Icelanders, can't handle it. Surströmming, Sweden. Fermented Baltic Sea herring. Surströmming is a traditional Swedish dish made by fermenting Baltic Sea herring for several months. The fermentation process leads to the accumulation of bacteria and acids that create a strong, pungent smell when the can is opened, often linked to that of rotting garbage. The fish is usually eaten with flatbread, boiled potatoes and diced onions, but eating it requires skill and courage due to the overpowering smell. Surströmming is a controversial dish, with airlines banning it on flights and even Swedish authorities cautioning people in apartments not to open it due to its strong odour. Escamoles, Mexico. Ant larvae. Escamoles, known as ant larvae or insect caviar, are considered a delicacy in Mexico. They are harvested from the roots of agave plants and are eaten either raw or lightly cooked with butter and spices. The dish has a nutty and buttery flavour and is popular in some regions of Mexico, especially during the spring season when ant larvae are most abundant. However, the consumption of escamoles can be controversial due to its potential environmental impact and concern over the use of natural resources. Kasumazu, Sardinia. Cheese with live maggots. Kasumazu is a traditional Sardinian cheese that contains live maggots. The cheese is made from sheep's milk and allowed to ferment before introducing cheese flies, which lay eggs and hatch into maggots. As the maggots feed on the cheese, they break it down and cause it to soften into a gooey, creamy texture. Kasumazu is a controversial dish due to its potential health risks of consuming live maggots, which can survive in your stomach if not digested properly. In fact, the cheese is illegal to sell in the European Union, but is still produced and consumed in Sardinia on a small scale. Fugu, Japan. Pufferfish with toxic organs removed. Fugu, also known as blowfish, is a Japanese dish that is often considered a delicacy. The blowfish contains a potent toxin, tetrodotoxin, that is lethal to humans if not prepared properly. Chefs who serve fugu must undergo intensive training and certification in order to safely prepare the fish. The dish is typically served as sashimi, with the skin and organs removed and only the meat sliced thinly. Despite the risk, fugu remains popular in Japan and is often seen as a symbol of culinary expertise and adventure. Number 7. Cockroach. Turkey. Grilled sheep intestines. Cockroach is a traditional Turkish dish made from sheep or goat intestines that are wrapped around sweetbreads and grilled over charcoal fire. The dish is often served as a street food and is typically enjoyed as a late-night snack or an afternoon drinking occasion. Cockroach has a savoury, spicy flavour and a chewy texture, making it popular with locals and tourists alike. While the dish can be an acquired taste, it remains an important part of Turkish culinary culture. Number 8. Rocky Mountain Oysters, USA. Bull calf testicles. Rocky Mountain oysters are a dish made from bull testicles that have been peeled, battered and deep fried. The dish is often served as an appetizer and is popular in the western United States, particularly in regions where rodeos are held. Rocky Mountain oysters have a meaty, chewy texture and a slightly sweet taste similar to well-cooked beef. Despite the name, the dish is not actually seafood and is instead a unique and somewhat unusual example of nose-to-tail cooking. While the dish may not be for everyone, it remains a popular and beloved part of Western cuisine. Number 9. Witchetty grub, Australia. Large white larvae of the cossid moth. Witchetty grub is a traditional Australian dish made from larvae of the cossid moth. The grubs are typically cooked over a fire or eaten raw and have a nutty, slightly sweet flavour. Witchetty grubs have been an important part of Aboriginal diet for tens of thousands of years, and the dish remains an important cultural tradition in many parts of Australia. Today, witchetty grubs are sometimes served in restaurants as a unique and exotic item on the menu. Shiraku, Japan. The sperm sacs of fish. Shiraku is a Japanese dish made from the sperm sacs of various types of fish, including cod, anglerfish and pufferfish. The dish has a creamy custard-like consistency and a delicate, slightly sweet flavour. Shiraku is typically served raw and is often paired with soy sauce, ponzu or other sauces to enhance the flavour. While the dish may not be for everyone, it is considered a delicacy in Japan and is popular among those who enjoy trying unique and unusual food. Turtle soup, China. Soup made from turtle meat and shell. Turtle soup is a dish that has been enjoyed in various forms for centuries around the world. The dish involves cooking the meat and bones of a turtle and using the broth as a base for soup. Different countries and regions may use different spices and ingredients, but turtle soup is often that is especially popular in the southern United States. Some species of turtles are endangered, so the availability and legality of turtle soup may vary depending on where you are. Number 12. Sanakji, South Korea. Raw baby octopus. Sanakji is a traditional Korean dish that is made from small live octopuses that are chopped up and served immediately. The dish is often considered a delicacy and is typically served as an appetizer or snack. When the octopus is chopped up, the tentacles may continue to move and squirm, creating a somewhat unsettling sensation for those new to the dish. Sanakji is typically served with sesame oil and sesame seeds, and diners are often advised to chew the dish carefully so not to choke on the still moving tentacles. The dish has gained popularity outside of Korea in recent years, but is still considered a somewhat risky culinary adventure for those who dare to try it. Number 13. Jellied moose nose, Canada. Boiled and chilled moose nose in gelatin. Jellied moose nose is a traditional Canadian dish that is made from, as the name suggests, the nose of a moose. The nose is boiled until it is tender, and the meat is then removed and mixed with herbs and spices. The mixture is then placed in a mould and allowed to set, creating a jellied texture that is somewhat reminiscent of terrine or pâté. Jellied moose nose is typically served cold as an appetizer and is often considered a delicacy in some parts of Canada. The dish may not be for everybody, but it still remains an important part of Canadian culinary culture. Number 14. Tarantula, Cambodia. Deep fried spider. Tarantula is a traditional Cambodian delicacy that involves deep fried tarantulas. The dish has become increasingly popular with tourists in recent years who seek out its unique culinary experience. The tarantulas are typically seasoned with a blend of herbs and spices before they are deep fried. When cooked, they become crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, with a flavour that has been described as somewhat nutty or earthy. While some find the idea of eating tarantulas upsetting, others find it to be an adventurous and rewarding culinary experience. Tarantulas are abundant in Cambodia, and are considered a nutritious and sustainable source of protein. Fried brain sandwich, USA. Sandwich made with sliced calf brains. Fried brain sandwich is a traditional Southern American dish that is made from the brains of a cow or pig. The brains are typically soaked in water to remove any impurities before being breaded and fried. The sandwich is usually served with mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato on a bun. Fried brain sandwich has been a staple of Southern American cuisine for decades, but it has become less common in recent years due to concerns about the safety of eating brains. Eating brains has been linked to the transmission of infectious diseases, and some states have even outlawed the sale and consumption of brain-based dishes. However, some die-hard fans still seek out fried brain sandwiches as a nostalgic and flavourful treat. Number 16. Tuna Eye Japan. Tuna eye is a traditional Japanese dish that is made from the eye of a tuna fish. The eyes are typically boiled or simmered until they are tender, and the outer skin is removed to reveal the soft and gelatinous inner layer. The eyes are typically served whole, and diners are encouraged to eat the entire eye, including the spheric lens in the centre. The texture of the dish is soft and somewhat slippery, but the flavour is said to be rich and savoury. Tuna eye is often considered a delicacy in Japan and is believed to have a number of health benefits due to its high collagen and vitamin B12 content. Number 17. Bird's nest soup, Southeast Asia. Bird's nest soup is an Asian delicacy that has been consumed for centuries. It is made from the nest of swiftlets, a type of bird found in Southeast Asia, and is considered a luxury item due to its high cost. The nests are made from the saliva of the birds and harvested from caves, a process which can be dangerous and requires the help of skilled climbers. Once the nests have been collected, they are cleaned and boiled to make a soup that is said to have a gelatinous texture and subtle flavour. Some believe the soup has various health benefits, including improving digestion and boosting the immune system, although there is little scientific evidence to support these claims. Despite its high costs and controversial harvesting methods, bird's nest soup remains a popular dish in some parts of China and is often served at banquets and special occasions. Number 18. Century egg, China. Also known as 1,000-year egg. Century egg, also known as a preserved egg or 1,000-year-old egg, is a Chinese delicacy made from the preserving duck, chicken or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime and rice straw for weeks to several months. During the preservation process, the mixture penetrates the eggshell and changes the texture and flavour of the egg, resulting in translucent egg white and a dark creamy yolk. The dish has a strong pungent odour that is an acquired taste for some, yet highly appreciated by others. The century egg is often served as an appetizer or main ingredient in conges, salads and stir-fried dishes. Stinkhead, Alaska. Fermented fish heads. Stinkhead is a traditional Alaskan native food made of fermented fish heads or whole fishes that have been buried underground for several weeks to several months. The fish is usually king or chum salmon, although other types of fish and sea mammals are also used. The fermentation process breaks down the proteins and fats in the fish, resulting in a strong, pungent odour and a soft, creamy texture. Stinkhead is often served as a side dish or main ingredient in soups, stews, and fry bread. It is said to have a strong, unique flavour that is definitely not for everyone, but is a treasured part of Alaskan native cuisine. Number 20. Marmite. UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Made from yeast extract, a byproduct of brewing beer, Marmite, or Vegemite as it's known in Australia, is essentially that slurry from the bottom of the barrel that most breweries just throw away. It is a sticky brown paste with a concentrated, strong, salty flavour that is somewhat similar to soy sauce. It has a distinctive brown colour. Marmite is typically spread thinly on toast or crackers, although it can be used as a flavouring agent in soups, stews and other dishes. Some people love Marmite and find the strong flavour addictive, while others dislike it intensely. The brand has been part of British culture for over a century, and its slogan, "You either love it or hate it," has become a well-known phrase in pop culture. Which of these dishes would you try? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this content, like and subscribe.